Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning 2 p.m. as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's always so much fun. You can find us on television back up or close to Huntsville, Alabama, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundant Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com and the biggest country radio station in South Carolina, WZLA. We appreciate you listening to the format of that show. They have a great morning show with Benji and Lacey. Go ahead and check that out. It's a brother and sister, so you can just about imagine they get family drama in there sometimes. But for the most part, it's a great, great show. And you can find out more about the local communities right here in South Carolina. I've got AP Steadham with me right now, and he is AP as we see it, been with us a long time. And I wanted to show AP a coffee mug. This is back from the day. This is when the show started 21 years ago. I actually salvaged this one right here. It doesn't have any chips or breakage or anything on it. So as soon as I get through recording with you, this is going back into the china cabinet. Maybe I will break it before we go back in.
Lock and key.
Lock and key. That way I'm not going to break it. So but that's not to say I won't break it on the way going upstairs to put it into the china cabinet. But AP's been with us a really long time as well. And AP and I have seen a lot of changes within college football itself. That's not even talking about basketball, but it seems like college football has just changed so much just within the last couple of years. You referred it to being the wild, wild west. I think it may have tamed down some, but we still have some new challenges out there. And one you were going to talk to us about is a little gambling scene going on there.
Yeah, Donna, we've had gambling in sports through the ages, but I've never seen it to this degree. There's a player, Brendan Sorsby, the quarterback at Texas Tech. He signed with them after playing at Indiana initially in Cincinnati last year for about $5 million reportedly. So, but he admitted to the gambling around $90,000, and he was deemed ineligible by the NCAA, naturally, because that's one of the tenets of all the sports, professional sports, college sports, so you can't bet on your own team. But he went to court and he found a judge that would file an injunction against the NCAA. So he's going to be eligible this season. He's going to sit out the first two games against Abilene Christian and Oregon State. Come back, I think, the third game, University of Houston, which, by the way, I think that judge I've heard was a University of Houston graduate. But anyhow, it's just amazing to me that somebody who could be gambling and betting on his own team is going to be allowed to compete in the sport of college football. I use the example that in life, for instance, if you have a driving license, that everybody has that opportunity. But if you violate and be a detriment to yourself and others on the road, that your license is suspended or revoked permanently. So, but it seems in college athletics, if you don't like the rule, and the rules are all by the membership of the NCAA, you're going to go to court and get some smart lawyers and try to get an injunction against the ruling by the NCAA. And so far they're successful, but it's kind of hard to believe, Donna, that in every sport in the United States and probably across the globe, you can't gamble on your team, but now they're saying you can, and we can suspend you for a couple of games and everything's all right. The appellate court, that won't meet until February, which is after the season, so it really doesn't matter, because Brendan Sorsby will be gone, probably be eligible for the professional ranks, the NFL and other leagues. So, but I never thought I'd live to see a day you can gamble on your own team in college athletics and you're allowed to compete.
That's really strange. So I want to ask you, okay, from the other team members, have you heard any chatter about what the other team members are saying about this? Yeah, they are not happy. His teammates, of course, they were going to support him, but I would think that he's going to have to earn their trust in the locker room. But some of the teams that are competing in the world of college football, athletic directors and
such. They're claiming that they would not play Texas Tech, but I'm thinking that if you make that statement right now and Texas Tech is deemed eligible to compete and earn a berth in the college football playoff, when you're pitted against them, what are you going to do? Back away and adhere to your original statement? You're not going to compete against Texas Tech. Your fan base won't allow you. They're going to say, look, you're not the judge and the jury. You have to follow the leadership of college football, and if the committee deems that we're going to match up against Texas Tech, we're going to have to go play that team. So you can make those types of statements, so you're not competing against Texas Tech. Maybe they mean for the future they're not going to schedule them, but in this season, if Texas Tech makes the playoffs and you're lined up against them because the committee designated you in that slot, you're going to have to play against Texas Tech and that quarterback.
This is like a big game of chess here going on. So
yes.
I would think that the coach of this guy would have a little more leeway in the decision on proceeding with this guy being on there. I mean, what's the coach saying about all of this?
Donna, a player such as Brendan Sorsby, he cannot proceed unless the coaching staff, the administration, the university is in favor of him returning. Now, they base their decision to proceed on the mental health of the athlete. In other words, he's being diagnosed with an addiction to gambling, which is fine. Like I said, people have mental health issues, but when you violate something on the road, for instance, and you injure somebody, they're going to revoke your driver's license possibly for a temporary amount of time or maybe permanently. But it just seems that in this instance, even though he has a gambling addiction, it's part of the mental health argument that his lawyers presented to the judge. They're allowing for him to come back and just be suspended for the first 2 games. So, like I said, the player and the university have to be in support of each other if they're going to try to turn around this decision in court with an injunction.
And they can't do that until after the season. I mean, basically, that's the nutshell.
The appellate ruling will be in February, so he's going to be able to compete, which is it's astonishing. I'm just at a loss for words to see that somebody could gamble. I mean, it was something like 2,900 bets, and he was giving money to other people. Obviously, when you're giving money to other people, you realize that you're in the wrong.
You know you are. Mm-hmm.
So that's no question. And so, but he's going to be allowed to play, and I just can't see if the NCAA, they can't enforce their own rules, Donna. But like I said, this may be a strategy that the NCAA said, look, we're going to make him ineligible, and if he goes to court and if it's not in our favor, this may be having a galvanizing effect on the rest of college athletics to say, we have to do something together. We have to compromise now. They have this Protect College Sports Act that's a bipartisan bill that comes out of the Senate. Now, we know that they're on recess after July or something, so they don't have much time to get their act together, pun intended. The NCAA, if they want to change college athletics moving forward.
But here's the issue, though. Once Pandora is out of the box,
that's it, yeah.
Then you're done, because now the other players are not going to feel like this is fair. And, a number of others are doing the same thing, just haven't been caught.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a good point, Donna, because this is not a one-off. There's one player in college athletics gambling. We know this. And if this comes up again, the NCAA, I don't know what they're going to do, if they're just going to try to make that player ineligible and make that person go to court and get a local judge to rule in their favor and provide that injunction against the NCAA and reinstate the player. So I don't know, but Congress, they've been trying for years. I'm saying 5. I'm saying probably more than that, actually. But college athletics, they're looking to Washington to have something done with the sport. But the Big Ten and the SEC, they've come out against the Protect College Sports Act, which is really unusual. You're meeting with Washington all the time, and right away, as soon as it's released, and this is just the Senate version, doesn't even we're not even looking at the House version. That they're going to make some amendments to that as well. But the two most powerful leagues and commissioners, they come out against the proposed legislation. So I don't quite understand. I mean, why do you let a bill become public and you don't come to a compromise? Those two leagues, the Big Ten and the SEC, and you're against it. So how is it going to move forward?
Well, let me ask you this. Could it actually backfire on this team? I mean, okay, so I'm the opposing team. I'm looking at you. You got out there and you basically got by scot-free and, throughout the season. Could this make him go tougher?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're not one of the favorite teams right now across the country, let's say, because they're realizing that their player gambled, which is against the rules, and they went to court. And it's like you're stomping your feet like you're having a temper tantrum. You're a child. You didn't get your way, and so you had a temper tantrum, and that was manifested by going to court and finding a local judge to rule in your favor. So to answer your point, yeah, it's not good publicity for Texas Tech, but they're looking out for their own interest, and that's what most of these schools and conferences and commissioners, it seems that we can't get anybody to look at the entire scope of the sport and say, now, is this good for the sport? Forget, is it good for me?
It should be good for the sport and not just for...
It's very difficult. It's very difficult, Donna, to get people in this day and age to have a broader picture of the influence on their individual decision.
Because what I see is Pandora's box is open. Now you're going to have more stuff. Okay? Because any client can say, well, no, wait a minute, just like kids would do. He got by with it. Why about me?
That's right. They're gonna use that as a precedent. Not, and the precedent wouldn't be set until maybe this appellate court rules in February, but they're going to say, for the meantime, I'm standing by Texas Tech. They did it. We can do it.
Mm-hmm. Of course it could. Let's go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. Finding the right home isn't just about bedrooms and square footage. It's about comfort, security, and the feeling you get the moment you walk through the door. That's why so many families across Greenwood and the Lakelands area trust Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams. And I'll tell you from personal experience, Jenny was my realtor, and she truly cares about her clients. Jenny takes the time to listen, to understand what matters most, and to guide you every step of the way, whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or ready to sell. Because this isn't just a transaction, it's your life. With local knowledge, personal care, and a commitment to getting it right, Jenny Ferguson makes the process simple and even enjoyable. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, now's the time to make your move. Call Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams in Greenwood today and take the next step toward a place you'll truly love coming home to. Shine your style at Kiss My Glass right here in the Anderson Mall. There's a place where style meets sparkle. At Kiss My Glass, every piece is handcrafted, custom designed, and made to shine just like you. Owner Beth Gibson brings creativity to life with stunning custom tumblers, gifts, and one-of-a-kind pieces you won't find anywhere else. Look for the perfect gift or something uniquely you, from bold and glamorous to simple and elegant. There's something for every style, so stop by, get inspired, and leave with something unforgettable. Kiss My Glass inside the Anderson Mall, Anderson, South Carolina, where your sparkle begins. Be sure to check out Kiss My Glass on Facebook for updates and specials and gift ideas.
Lowe's knows that the projects you build in spring are the ones you can't wait to share. It's why we make sure you have our best deals with My Lowe's Rewards and that you get help from people who've
been there,
done that.
Try this.
This spring, we'll help you build something rewarding.
Hey, Stan.
What's up?
I made you something.
Oh, thank you.
And I got something for you. You grew these?
Of course.
Lowe's knows how to help you spring.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities.
Because of your overwhelming support, our 1488 MyPillow has been one of the biggest sales in MyPillow history. I couldn't think of a better way to say thank you than to extend our wholesale pricing through Christmas. Get a classic standard MyPillow for only $14.88. Upgrade to a queen size, just $18.88. King size, only $1 more. Get my body pillows for only $29.88. And ready? Multi-use MyPillows, only $9.88. It's perfect time to stock up for Christmas gifts for everyone on your list. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our wholesale pricing. Including my classic standard MyPillows, only $14.88. But that's not all. I'm so confident you're going to love our classic MyPillows that I'm going to extend my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025. Plus, orders over $75 ship absolutely free.
Good afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television, Radio, and Podcast Talk Show. Continue sending email, by the way. I love it. AP can tell you every time you send an email, I just go crazy, funky inside. It just makes me feel so good. DonnaEdge.com, Donna at DonnasEdge.com. We'd like to take your recommendations. That's how this show grows. And it's all about you. It's not about me whatsoever. I'm just the message giver out here. AP's a message giver too. AP, as we see it, let's talk about your show. What's going on there? And who were your reviews last week?
Yeah, Donna, last week we had a chance to visit with somebody who was familiar with the University of Georgia. Every week we're trying to review the teams in the SEC one by one, or sometimes we have two guests. But last week we had John Nelson, who's with OSG Sports out of Atlanta. So we had a preview of the Georgia Bulldogs. And we also went over the college football ballot. There's 18 players that are up for the Hall of Fame. And they make those announcements in January. But we'll be at that banquet. They used to hold that banquet down at the Waldorf Astoria, and but now they hold it in Las Vegas. So that was our show last week. But Donna, this week we have an interesting guest. One of our guests is Ramogi Huma, and he's the executive director of the National College Players Association. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. But he was a linebacker at UCLA. But he's been advocating for players for decades, and so I'll be really interested to hear his perspective on this gambling issue and just college sports in general that's in flux and trying to make changes, because there is a pendulum when you have legislation, Donna, of the players versus the universities and who's going to get the best deal when this legislation is proposed. And right now, the players, they're trying to cap their ability to make money with the name, image, and likeness, whereas right now it's wide open, Donna. And I always say to myself, if you're going to cap the players, I would cap the coaches as well. But you don't hear that. You don't hear that drumbeat. You don't hear that drumbeat of capping the coaches. You know, the coaches are all upset about the uncertainty of sports and the free agency under the transfer portal, name, image, and likeness, and the ability to keep pushing up the salaries. Donna, just to give you an idea, this year the reported figures are for Texas's roster, University of Texas football, $47.9 million roster.
Wow.
And a couple of years ago, we were looking at maybe, let's say, 20 million. So it's already doubled in 3 or 4 years, Donna. So where's it heading? I don't know. But just to give you an idea, $47.9 million, that is the roster figures being reported for the University of Texas. They're number one.
Let me ask you a question about that. So where does the money come from to be
Right.
able to manage all of this? Is it through sponsorships, companies? I mean, how does this work out?
Yeah, it's a combination of sponsorships under the name, image, and likeness rules, and then also the revenue sharing through the schools itself. That's $20.5 million at this point. So it's a combination of those two. And I don't understand this loophole that they came out with the ruling of the 20.5 revenue sharing, and I thought, well, okay, that's going to be the top figure. But then you have these name, image, and likeness, which is outside that revenue sharing that was deemed the correct number for all these schools when they went to court. So the name, image, and likeness, that's a separate issue. So there's no cap on that number at this point. And I think that's causing all the consternation and the coaches being upset because they're trying to keep up with each other. Mm-hmm. But so my feeling down about college athletics, there's not a money issue. It's not a money issue. It's a spending issue. Okay. When you're paying coaches $14 million, you're paying ADs $2-3 million, coordinators, offense and defense, $2-4 million, close to $4 million with Ohio State, let's say. You can't turn around and tell everybody, oh, there's a problem with the money. We don't have enough money. Really? You just got through paying the coach $14 million. We can pay for several teams by using, let's say, if you paid him $2 million and gave us $12 million, we could fund other sports in our program sufficiently. So I think that it's really a form of brainwashing, Donna, when you look at it.
It is too. Like with my company, for instance. Okay. So we were looking for somebody, we're looking for computers, well, I'm going to seek everybody out. I want the best computer possible for the best amount of money. So I'm very careful. I don't care if I were a billionaire, I would still run my business that way. So I'm not understanding, are there too many chiefs running everything and maybe the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing? Because that's a collapse within the whole industry someday soon.
Yeah, Donna, if you always look at an issue, and I use that phrase, follow the money, or the problem is if you don't know the answer, it's always money, because there's vested interest in these athletic directors and administration making all this money through so many years. So right away when the players have a chance, wait a minute, we have a problem with money. Wait a minute, we can't be paying players. Well, you've been paying yourself all these years, 50 years. It's been coming. The players wanted to be paid, and it finally came to fruition in the last number of years, recent years. So this idea, you don't have any money. You had plenty of money when you were giving yourself a raise in millions of dollars and paying your coaches way over $10 million, right? 14 million, that's not close to 10. That's way over 10 million. And that's just one coach. That's one coach of one program, one part of your program, the football program. So,
but there are so many chiefs. There are so many. Okay. Is there really one person who truly heads up the whole organization?
Yeah, Donna, you've heard from years that they want a college football czar, but Donna, these commissioners, they are not relinquishing their power. So when you hear them say, oh, let's have somebody such as Nick Saban be the czar of college football, number one, I don't think he wants to be the czar of college football. And there's nobody giving up their power, Donna. Mm-hmm. We see that the Big Ten and the SEC have total control of the college football playoff. And they have to make a decision if they want to change it from 12 to 16 or 24 by December 1st. Two people, they can't come to an agreement. Two people of all 138 teams, it's in the hands of two people, two conferences. They cannot come up with an agreement. They're still fighting and bickering about should it be 12 teams, should it be 16, should it be 24. So why do you think that they're going to give up their power to one person and give them the authority to manage all of college football? I don't see it. So there is no one person done in the NCAA. They can't enforce their rules right now because everybody's running the court. they're having a temper tantrum if they don't like the eligibility, they don't like the fact that one of their players violated the rules. So I don't know if there will be any resolution in the foreseeable future. I don't think so at this moment.
But there has to be. Okay, let's use my business for an example. So when Phil and I owned 8 Nextel stores with cell phone stores, we were all over the state of Alabama.
Right.
Okay, so we had employees who were salespeople. We also had a manager over those employees. Okay, then we had 2 area managers, and these 2 area managers, 8 stores. One of them would handle 4 stores. The other one would be the other 4 stores.
Right.
Then this person answered to Phil and me.
Right.
Okay. And you better believe I checked books. You better believe I looked at every dime spent. I mean,
right.
Sure. And that's why we were able to sell these stores and make a profit, because you were actually showing a profit. Several people were in the background helping make decisions, but ultimately Phil and I made the final decisions on everything. There has to be that, or you're going to flop.
Yeah. Donna, I just don't know if there's one person that will ever have full management of college football. I just don't see it, because these conferences, they dictate through the money that they receive through television and the revenue that the program generates. It's unlikely to me that you're going to have one person leading college football. But if they want to do something, the time is now. Maybe with this gambling situation, maybe that tips the cup over, I guess, and people say we need to get together now. We can't have players that are gambling on their own team violate one of the top tenets of college athletics and is allowed to come back and compete.
Okay, I've got an idea. This is from Donna Feazell's common sense method. How about we do this? We have someone kind of like a police commissioner, where the police commissioner is like really over all the cops. And I'm just using this for an example. But now the
right.
police commissioner also has somebody that keeps him in check. Okay.
Right.
And he and this person go back at it, back and forth, just to keep everything running. Think about New York. New York's huge. They have hundreds of cops. Okay. So there has to be a police commissioner.
Yes.
But now this police commissioner has somebody who keeps him in check. Maybe we need to invent a new role there.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. But I like I said, you have two people in a room trying to figure out the college football playoff. They can't come into an agreement for years now, and that's just one issue.
I'll put it to you this way: if there is a women's football league, I bet you it's running smoother than the guys.
Maybe so, Donna.
Hey, Pete, thanks so much for being with me today. We got to call it a day. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. We definitely appreciate that. You're the reason we do what we do. This has been a good discussion, and we've had a lot of emails pertaining to this lately. So you've answered a lot of questions, AP. Thank you again for your insight.
Thank you.
And thank you again, guys, for the insight you give us for the show. Definitely appreciate that. And another 21 years, maybe. Oh, my goodness, I'd be in my 80s. I don't know that I can do that, AP. Maybe this cup will survive another 21 years. We'll see. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye now.
Good afternoon, Sunshine. Medical Minute brought to you by Dr. Chuck with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. So what is the Beamer? Okay, now the Beamer uses very gentle pulse to electromagnetic signals. This will stimulate healthy muscles, and it supports the temporary blood flow. Now let's talk Beamer and circulation support. Now the Beamer gently supports natural circulation in healthy muscles. Now that's what I call natural health. Thank you so much for watching your Medical Minute, brought to you by Dr. Chuck. You know who he's with. He's with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. I hope you have a super duper awesome rest of the afternoon. You take care.